Great. I bet. Um, Mm. Dang, I matched the setting. That's crazy. I wasn't even trying to match. But I just wanted to come on here because I'm like uh oof, been out hustling all day. Um Fortune favors the hustlers. Um, you know, if you really want to live the life you want, you gotta hustle for it. Nobody's gonna bail you out. Um, Nobody's going to give you handouts. Nobody is going to comfort you. So if you really want something, your soul that your soul desires, soul is when you look at the soul, that means the self. So that means you got to isolate. And the the sad part about it is you when you isolate, you have to break bonds, and we just human as human nature comes from when your mother first coddled you when she and I everybody didn't have that experience for real, right? And so that's where the corruption comes from the people who was bastardized, or would you call it masterdized if you didn't have a mother? Like, it's one thing to not have, like, for me, I lost my mother when I was 14, but when I had my mother, I had my mother. My mother was there. She was there to coddle me. She was a hard worker. She came in late hours, all of that. But when it came to her son, she knew how to be there at the right time. Up until the day that she was no longer present in in her vassalage that carried me. So it's kind of interesting to think that she left her body, but I was in her body when she carried me for I probably was in there for 10 months. I probably was in there for 10 months. I probably was in there longer than that, right? Because I'm a piece of my mom, and like I could have, if you're going up, we talk about the Christ principle, but we don't talk the depthness of it. Because if Mary if Mary self-created Christ, right, and she formed Christ immaculately, then that means that my mother could have had the immaculate conception. That means that your mother could have had the immaculate conception. Who's to say? All we know is the facts that that child came out of that woman there. So now, as a father, you have to let go of your ego because you did not carry that child. And that is one of again, this is where this is where the wars come in from, because you have children who grew up without a mother who don't understand the essence of having a mother just present, alive, because they never came from that. So therefore, like what's going on in Palestine, they could take away the mother because they don't have any attachment to it. They could take away the son because they don't have no attachment to it. They could take away the father because they don't have no attachment to it. So, what the program is set up to do is to take the mothers who did not grow up away with fathers away from the father without no remorse because they never had one. And to take the children, this is where I come into play, from the mothers because they never had one. And so that's where my accountability comes into play at. And it was a post on Instagram a while ago, floating around a few weeks ago, that said that I absolutely hate the partner that I chose, or this wish I chose no, I chose the wrong partner to bring kids in the world. And I stopped and I commented, and what I said was that we can't say that because we didn't choose our partners. Allah chose our partners, right? And Allah, mashallah, hasbunallah, Allah is sufficient for us. So therefore, we settle based off of the principles that Allah that set forth for us subconsciously. So therefore, when you have this album right here, it's, matter of fact, give me 1 second. It's probably gonna take me over there, but yeah, no, you're gonna see that flag. I need to take this album down anyway because I want it to be over here. Woo! Man, you study music from your mama crates. This is my mama crate. This is my mama crates. You know what I mean? I didn't get this from no record store. That's you see what that says? It says Sister D 73, the same year that this album came out. That just say Sister D, Sister Love. That's my mama handwriting. Stay right there. It's signed on Marvin. The same year that this album dropped. And so this is what Marvin Gaye said, man. And this is the conversations that need to be held in real time because if we don't have these conversations, what are we if we're not talking about love, then it's an algebraic equation. If you're not talking about love, then what's the polar opposite of love? So we spreading hate and dishonor and distrust. But this right here says I can't see anything wrong with sex between consenting anybody's. I think we make far too much of it. After all, one genitals are just one important part of the magnificent human body. I have no argument with the essential part that they play in the reproduction of the species. However, the reproductive process has assured by the pleasure both parties receive when they engage in it. I contended that sex is sex and love is love. When combined, they all work together. Man, this Marvin Gaye. If two people are about the same mind, but they are really two discrete needs and they should be treated as such, time and space will not permit me to expound further. Man, especially in the area of the psyche, I don't believe overly moralistic. I don't believe in orally, excuse me.